Hey everyone, my name is Clyde and you're watching Play by Play. Today, we are in the premium Italian destroyer Paolo Emilio. Now, to unlock this ship, you've got to earn research points, and those are the little yellow square-looking things that you can get by resetting tier 10 lines and grinding through them again, or maybe spending some free XP to rush to the end, like I did, to get this boat. Before we talk any more about the ship, I'd like to thank you for being here and watching our video. If you enjoy it, and I really hope you do, please click the like button, subscribe, and maybe make some comments down below. With that out of the way, let's talk about Paolo Emilio. Again, it's a premium ship. It's the first Italian destroyer in the game. It's available in the armory for research points, as I've already said. This ship is fast. It cruises at like 45, 46 knots without its engine boost module activated, but it'll also sprint to over 50, well over 50 knots at top speed. It has both HE, that's high explosive, and SAP, or semi-armor piercing rounds. And those SAP rounds are really great against lightly armored targets like light cruisers or destroyers, or even the superstructure of battleships. Its main battery has about an 11.2 kilometer range, I think, but the reload is very slow on it. It's over 10 seconds stock, although I've managed to get mine down to 8.5 with my captain configuration and things like that. I'll put some information at the end of this video about how my ship is currently configured, and you can see if that seems like it's right for you. My configuration is by no means the optimized, perfect configuration. I don't even have a 19-point captain yet, but you can look at it as inspiration for how you want to set up your Paolo Emilio when you get your own. Now let's talk torpedoes. The Emilio, you'll see a lot of people say, oh, it's got Shimmatorps, it's got Shimmatorps. It does not have Shimmatorps. I'm going to say that again. The Paolo Emilio does not have Shimakaze torpedoes. What it has is torpedoes that hit like a ton of bricks like Shimakaze torpedoes. Unlike Shimakaze torps, however, they only go 6 kilometers. And that's a huge that's a huge difference between Shimmatorps and these Paolo Emilio torps. What that means is when you're in the Paolo, you got to get real close, assassination close, and it's super dangerous. And we'll talk about how best to employ those later on. Now, like the Italian cruisers, Paolo has the exhaust smoke generator. That's that smoke generator that allows you to travel at top speed. And in the Paolo Emilio, that's very, very fast, while still remaining concealed inside your smoke. And that's a really good thing because this ship is not stealthy. I don't even remember what its stock detectability distance is from sea, but after I worked really hard to bring mine as low as possible, it's still 7.1 kilometers, which means you are not going to outspot any destroyers except for, Khabarovsk and its ilk. You will not really be stealthily taking caps. No. This is not a sneaky ship. This is an Italian assassin. It will take the caps from the cold, dead hands of its enemies. So we talked about this ship being called the Yolo Emilio. It's a great nickname. It's a very apt nickname. And the reason for this is you must select a target. You must hunt that target like an assassin. And then you must dive upon that target in a way that makes it clear that either you or your prey will be dead when this exchange is over. And that means that this is a thinker's boat. You've really got to plan your attacks. So what you do is you look for a target that doesn't have sensors, a target that can't see you in your YOLO smoke. And so I'm eyeballing that Azumo over there. It's a big battleship. There's a lot of hit points. There's a huge impact to my team's win chance if I can destroy a full health battleship like that big old tub. And what you want to do is kind of approach that ship as best you can, hopefully avoiding the radars of his allies, other destroyers who might screen for him, and get within about 7 kilometers. At that point, you will be visible because your ship has a 7.1 at best detectability range. At 7 clicks away, you mash the T and Y buttons at the same time. Those buttons should be taped together and relabeled the YOLO button. And the reason for that is you want to go fast by getting your turbo going, and you want to get that oil smoke burning so that as you're approaching this target, he can't see you. There's no chance for him to avoid. At this point, what happens is you become blind. Your own smoke is blinding you, and you have no sensors of your own. You only know where the ship was last, unless someone else is spotting it for you. So you barrel towards that ship's last known location. As you get close enough, you will be able to see the battleship through the smoke before they can see you because they have a higher detectability when behind a smoke wall. Then you can fire your torpedoes, but you want to hold them until you are confident they won't be able to dodge the torpedoes. Hold them just just as long as you can, but fire them early enough so that you have enough smoke that you can begin your U-turn to begin to make an escape. If you successfully escape this attack run, just like Luke Skywalker blasting into the channel on the Death Star, then you will be able to continue and do this to another ship before the game is over. If you fail, you will die. But if you're successful, you can start your turn early, and then you can present a very narrow profile of just the aft end of your ship as you're sailing away, and you can waggle back and forth to avoid any counter shots that they or their allies might make before the torpedoes land, hopefully killing the target and thus rendering you invisible again and ready to start your next attack run. It's just like Beggar's Canyon back home. So as I'm approaching the Izumo, that Fletcher that I've been sparring with pops his smoke, and this is brilliant for me. He's just laid down better smoke than I have for free for me, which is great. So as I'm approaching the Izumo, I'm using this high-quality American smoke. He can't see me. The Fletcher can't see me. I am an Italian assassin who cannot be seen right now. I hold my torpedoes. Look how long I'm lining up this shot. I want to fire at the last possible second because if there are any course or speed changes from that Izumo, it could still screw up my torpedo shot, even though this boat has reasonably quick torps for the ranges that we're talking about. 2 sets fired, the Izumo still can't see me, and the Fletcher then gets assured acquisition. Torpedoes start landing on the Izumo. I start opening my guns on the Fletcher. Izumo goes down, and the question is, can I hit the Fletcher with my torpedo salvo? He gets moving really fast. It looks like he's pointed his torpedoes right at me, so I'm terrified that I'm going to get torped. I keep turning my nose towards the Fletcher to present the narrowest target possible, and eventually we get him shot down with the main battery of my destroyer with support from the Minnesota behind me.
Kills and kills! We seem powerless to stop.
So here we are with 94,000 damage on the clock and 2 kills from a single Yolo run. And that's the kind of stuff that you can pull off in the Yolo Emilio. Now, it doesn't work every single time. If it did, this ship would be absurd, and there's no way they could possibly put it in the game. Because it works so well when it works, it means when it doesn't work spectacularly. You know, maybe you log into a match and every ship on the enemy team is a German battleship, cruiser, or destroyer, each one with 6-kilometer acoustics and torpedoes that can counter you at extremely close range. Or maybe you didn't notice that Kitakaze in Daring that's escorting that Yamato, and they just run you down, all of your hit points gone in a fiery blaze with their rapid fire attack. Because it isn't always going to work, I think this boat is probably going to get a reputation for being the kind of boat that either burns out like a shooting star or does really heroic things to help their team. It's going to take a skilled player, a conscientious player, and a player who's really paying attention to the situational awareness in order to pull this off consistently. And it doesn't matter if you're that player or not. Every time you take this thing in, it is fun. So looking at our match here, we've actually got okay positioning. My team looks pretty strong through the middle there, although we did just lose our Seattle. The Minnesota is going to capture the alpha point, and I'm looking for my next target. The 2 best targets for me in this game are the Iowa, who's kind of far away, and the Sovetskaya Rosaya, who's on the other side of the island there towards the Charlie Cap. That is an old position report for that ship, however, so I'm not quite sure exactly where the Rosaya is. I do believe, however, that's my best target. So my intention is to move down towards the Bravo Cap to support my Iowa, who's in that channel, and try to counter that Rosaya if and when it comes around and up the channel or around the south side of those 2 little islands there to the west of the Bravo Cap. So we just got an update on the Buffalo's position. It looks like it's heading south out of Charlie, and it's going to wrap around those southern islands and come up into Bravo. Iowa, my friendly Iowa, is backing out of the channel, which is great news for me. That means I can get up in there and chuck some torpedoes in if we wind up with bad guys in there. I'm not quite sure exactly if anybody's coming into the channel, and I don't want to dive in there without knowing. I don't quite have enough situational awareness information right now to make an intelligent decision. So I decide to sail a circle right here in the B cap and wait until we get a little bit more intel. As I'm making this circle, the Iowa is completing his retreat from the channel, which is excellent because I wanted him out of the way. I get hit by radar, which means the Buffalo is now within, 10, 11 kilometers of me, and the Iowa catches sight of both the Udaloy and the Rosaya. I didn't realize at this point that he had seen the Udaloy. And so as I'm coming around, I think this channel is full of just a Rosaya, and that is the perfect target for me to approach in the Paolo Emilio. Get a couple of shots that come at me, probably from the Buffalo, and as I'm making this circle around here, the Iowa is lined up. He's ready to back me up. He knows what I'm going to do. He does ask me for a smoke screen. I don't know if this Iowa player was aware of the kind of smoke this boat has, which is really short duration and not particularly useful for laying down a long-term smoke screen, especially at these distances. And then I see the Udaloy. I didn't realize he was coming up the channel. If I'd been looking at my minimap, I would have known. So I throw a few shots at the Udaloy. I was thinking about using my torpedoes, but I don't really have the angle. They're not really turned yet. So I keep my mains on him, and I keep gunning him down. He beaches, and of course, comically, I also beach at the same time. But just due to the way the reloads worked out, I managed to get the kill on him. My smoke is still puffing for another 6 seconds. Some shots are coming at me from the direction of the Buffalo. There they are. And I'm trying to back up. I'm under acoustics right now, which means the Buffalo can see me, the Rosaya can see me, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I can get some torps off on this Rosaya when he pops into view. And do I get them fired? I do fire one set, and I don't quite get the second set fired, unfortunately. I took too long to aim them. The first salvo does go off, though. I collect 2 hits on the Rosaya from that, putting my damage at just under 127,000 for the match. And unfortunately, with the Iowa and myself sunk on the B cap, the enemy has excellent position to come around those islands 3 ships strong, take B, and then cut down the rest of the members of my team, who were unfortunately distracted by an Iowa up on the A line. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining and educational. If you liked what you saw today, please hit the like button and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode of Play by Play. If you can't wait for the next episode, go check out the other videos that are on my channel right now. There's a whole stack of play-by-plays just like this one. Thanks again for watching. Always sail with friends. Take care of each other, and we'll see you guys in the next battle, Captains.